Hello, Miami students. My name is Ron Flickinger, and I'm a retired Fort Wayne Community Schools employee. And I've been contracted by the Career Academy to here at Anthus for a special project that I hope will not only introduce you to the concept of high school, but will show you how connected high school is to middle school. This program has had three components. We want to be in every 6th grade classroom, and we want to visit those classrooms and share a short video with you to let you know that there's opportunities in high school that are available really not to all kids, but to kids who have done their best in both middle school and in high school. In 7th grade, you're watching this video right here that's going to take place after I'm done speaking. And you're going to be listening to some students who actually attended your middle school, and they're going to be sharing with you some important things about being a successful high school student. And they'll introduce themselves to you in just a minute. Next year in 8th grade, we hope to do two things in your classrooms. We want to bring into each 8th grade classroom in the Fort Wayne Community Schools high school students, again, from your middle school, that will share with you specifically about the transition from 8th grade to 9th grade. And also we'd like them to share with you what they did in 9th and 10th grade to make 11th and 12th grade a really exciting and successful experience. We also, by the way, have produced a video for 8th graders that talks about the IDT process. We hope your counselors or teachers will share that video with you when you're in the 8th grade. And we hope these activities will help you as you enter high school, which is the last phase of your final preparation for life while you're still living at home. After high school, you're kind of on your own. So why don't you sit back and listen closely to the good advice you're about to receive from students who were sitting in those very same seats just a few short years ago.
Hello, Miami students. My name is Christine Brisoto, and I am a student at IPFW. I graduated from Northrop High School, and I spent 2 of my years here at Anthus as well for graphic design. I have been hired by the Career Academy to moderate this discussion by former Miami students to hopefully help you be successful in high school. Can you guys introduce your names and your program and your home high school?
Well, I'm
please?
Isabel. I'm a senior at Wayne High School. I do half days there. I take English, government, and chemistry. And then at Anthus, I take CNA.
And what is CNA?
CNA is a certified nurse assistant. So I'm actually going to be working with elder people.
Yeah.
And taking care of them and be there when they need someone.
Okay.
And
this is what year are you in? You're senior
I'm a
now?
senior, yeah.
And did you do any other programs junior year?
yeah, I took dental last year, actually, and that was a great experience, too.
And what did you do in dental? Was it similar? Or
Well, it was
different?
a dental assistant, so we actually went in clinicals and helped, other dental assistants,
Yeah.
Shipwire.
Okay. And what are you doing now?
I'm Christian Terry. I am in the graphic design class. My home school is Wayne High. At Wayne, I take my integrated science classes, my algebra classes, and then just extracurricular type classes. This is my first year in the graphic design class. We really, we have different clients come in from, other companies asking us to do logos, mascots, anything around that nature, all the way to book design, magazine type design, anything around that nature.
Alrighty. Welcome to your filming today, and first I'd like to thank you guys for doing this for us. Let me start by asking you both, what are your future plans? Is there any connection to what you're doing right now on what you want to do in the future?
Well, yeah, I want to work in the medical field, so this is a great experience for me to know, practice more with other people.
And colleges?
Yeah, colleges. I'm
what
planning
college?
to go to college. Ivy Tech or IPFW. Yeah, those are my plans.
Okay, and how about you?
I was thinking about attending Ball State Academy for the leading IT academy. I do a lot of photography and graphic design in that case, and I also like journalism, so my future referencing would be possibly working for Viceland Journalism Group, maybe, doing that in my photography, using it as key, vital
Yeah,
things.
that's awesome. And you're a junior, right?
Yes.
Do you plan on going back to Anthus next year, maybe?
Oh, yeah,
Trying out a different program, or maybe doing the same thing?
I think I might test a different program, but it all depends on how I look at it down the road.
Okay. Well, that's great, guys. Well, thanks for sharing that, but we want to spend the majority of our time talking about 8th grade. Let's talk about the direct connections between 8th grade and high school. Looking back for you both, what did you do in 8th grade that really helped you out throughout high school?
Well, what helped me is that I actually did my work and not play around like other kids used to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I did I study at home.
Mhm.
The first thing I did when I get home is do my homework. 'Cause, if you don't do it
So
right
it's a
away,
good
you're not
thing to
gonna
do.
forget. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I turn it in on time and everything. So that helped me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what helped you?
I mean,
I saw you nodding your head a little bit at what she was saying.
for me, it was basically the same thing, doing most of my work, getting it in on time, and then I also had to focus on being myself instead of being like everybody else, because that doesn't turn out the way that you'd expect it to when
so-
it gets older.
Sort of be yourself and have let your uniqueness show.
Right.
Because they talk about plenty of sea in the
Yeah.
fish, but you need to be the different one. Now we'll reverse that. And is there anything that you did that might have hurt you in high school? Something you wished you could have done over?
Probably study harder to get better test grades and stuff
Mhm.
like that. So yeah.
Study harder.
Study harder.
Okay.
I think for me, it was paying attention to the teachers. I kind of had my attention was all over the room rather than being on the teacher, and that was something when you get into high school you have to learn to really just focus in on the class, because if you miss it, there's no taking that back.
Mhm.
So
And in high school, compared to middle school, how is attendance in high school? Is there more consequences if you're late or not show up to class in high school than there is in middle school?
Well, and when I was in middle school, they used to get in trouble too. But now in high school, they take your phones away if you have them out. Something in middle school when I was there, if you chew, there was this thing, if you chew gum, they'll make you throw it away.
Mhm.
In high school, it's not like that no more.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, yeah. So.
it's definitely a bit looser in high school, but there are still the guidelines that you have to follow. You will have a bigger penalty, say if you're late, if you have your phone out, anything around that nature. It could be just as major as it would be in middle school, but
Mhm.
it's basically the same thing.
And there's more they can take away
Yeah.
from you than they can in middle school, right?
Yeah.
Is there any recommendations about what classes to take in 8th grade? Because our 7th graders are about to go in 8th grade, maybe not knowing what classes would help them out. Is there any classes that you know of that will help them out throughout high school? Anything that transfers over that can help them out?
They should take classes that have dual credits, because that will help them throughout college too.
Yeah.
So that will be good for them.
Dual credits, and can you guys think of any dual credit ones? Did you guys take any dual credit ones in middle school?
Honors, chemistry honors. I do that I'm doing that right now, so that's gonna help me, throughout college too right now.
I took a lot of integrated classes and a lot of advanced classes in middle school, so that definitely applied to high school, and it helped you get farther.
Yeah.
But usually my favorite classes taking there were the arts classes. I liked art, I liked filming. I was in advanced 3 years in a row, so it was something that I really appreciated.
Yeah, and it's basically, for you, it was art classes in middle school, and so I bet you suggest to our 7th graders to take what they want in middle school, but also take dual credits. And I believe the dual credit classes that some middle schools offers is there any math or languages? Don't they have math and languages?
Yeah, that transfer.
That transfer over,
Yeah.
algebra.
Yeah,
I think algebra
algebra.
does that transfer
yeah,
over?
they have algebra.
languages too,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
In the high school core 40, isn't there language involved if you wanted to get academic
Yeah, you
honors?
have
Oh,
to
yeah.
take a language class.
So would you suggest for our 8th graders to maybe look into
Yeah,
like
look
the
into
math
it.
and the
Yeah.
languages?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Definitely. Yeah.
And is that all?
Well, they also like if they have like classes in their middle school, like to get credits for high school, they should take them classes too.
Okay,
So
so
they
just
can have
look
more credits.
just
in high
look into
school.
those
Yeah.
then. All right. Well, that's great. Anything that helped you or you wish you have done, like took what classes did you wish you have taken in middle school, or what classes did you take in middle school that
I wish I would have taken more honors classes because
More?
right now that I see like where I'm at, I'm like more smart than I think I was. So
Mhm.
it's just like I probably was like too like not
Scared?
shy, but too scared that I wasn't that smart to take them classes.
yeah.
Yeah. So, and I know there's a lot of people out there like that. They'd be like, oh, I'm not that smart to do that, but they can do that.
I mean, for me, it was really like film had to be my all-time favorite class because it taught you to be different than the other people. Don't be the same. Same with art, you know. I didn't want my piece of artwork to be the same as everybody else's. So I think those classes teach you like fundamental skills on how to be different and be your own person rather than following the crowd.
Okay. And is there any other general advice, something we haven't mentioned, that you would give these 7th graders watching about 8th grade? Like, what's different from 7th grade and 8th grade per se?
Well, 7th grade, you have to like what I recommend them to do is not to play around, because once they get into high school, they're gonna look back and be like, oh, why didn't I turn in my homework? Like, why didn't I pay attention in that class? You know, because that will probably affect them in high school,
Mhm.
because they're gonna be like in algebra. Like sometimes they can like take advice from their math class in middle school, be like, oh, I don't know how to do this. You
Yeah.
know, they're gonna regret not paying attention in class. So that's
Yeah.
my advice, like pay attention and study. do
And
your
I
work.
saw you nodding your head. Is there anything you wanted to add to her comment
just
to
like
hers?
just like she said, I mean, really pay attention in class because, you know, when you get into high school, if you slack around in middle, you're gonna look back and then you're gonna regret like not paying attention in class because that's where you start your skills in high school. That's middle school is leading off to high school. It's where you learn how to be a high schooler. So you definitely want to take good traits from middle school into high school.
All right, and now that we are talking about high school, you guys gave some good advice about middle school. But before we wrap up, let's talk about high school. They're only a year from getting into high school. So is there anything you would like to share to them about the differences maybe between middle school and high school? What do they need to do differently in high school?
Well, I can compare it to middle school, like I said before. Pay attention, because it will affect your classes. Like some people right now don't even have all the credits and they're about to graduate, so they're like getting extra classes in so they can actually get their credits in
Mhm.
order to graduate. You know, that affect them because they didn't pay attention freshman year and stuff like that.
Well, I mean, for me, it was really, I was scared of the transition. I felt like things were going to be different. But one thing that you got to realize coming into middle school and high school is it's basically exactly the same. You know, it's the same group of people that you were in with. But I mean, you should look at it in a more mature perspective. Don't play around like this isn't middle school. This is something that you need to take serious. It's for your future.
Because high school is definitely more serious, and you get your diploma to get to a higher level of education in high
Yeah.
school, unlike middle school, where you could just kind of explore around a little bit, but high school is more strict,
Right.
right? And you said something about transferring over, and you might have your friends with you, but some of our 7th graders or 8th graders, soon to be 8th graders, might not have that. All their friends might go to a different school. What advice would you say for that if they did go to a high school that they aren't really like particularly familiar with and they don't have any friends? What would you recommend for them to do?
Well, what I'll recommend is that not all the time your friends are going to be there for you.
Mhm.
So like, I'll compare this to myself. I used to talk to people in middle school that I don't talk to now, because you know they went their way and I went my way. And now that I have new friends that are actually there, you know,
Mhm.
that's mine.
Well, you gotta realize you just have to be yourself. Like, I mean, the friends that you made in middle school might not be with you in high school, but I mean, it's always good to make new friends. Just be yourself. Don't try and be something that you're not to make a group of friends.
Yeah. And speaking of friends, like you also need to maybe choose your friends like wisely, right?
Yeah.
To kind of like either make or break you in high school. Would you say that some of the people you hang around sort of like influence you in high school?
Because if you hang with bad people, you're gonna be doing bad stuff. If you hang out with people you want like turn in their work and everything, you're gonna be doing the same thing as them. So that does impact your life a lot.
Yeah.
Well, with me, like at the beginning of high school, I wasn't hanging out with the best crowd, and like I was doing things that weren't the best. So I mean, as you know, I started growing up, and then I seen that high school is really important. So I mean, definitely take it seriously. Hang out with a good group of kids, somebody that you feel comfortable with, but somebody that won't get you into a bad situation.
That's some very good advice that you guys sort of like brought out. Is there anything about your high school experiences that sort of surprised you?
Whoa. It surprised me that like it's just different from middle school. Like they used to say there was like once you're in freshman year they're gonna beat you up. There's just like Friday. I don't know. It's
Freshman Friday, I think.
Nothing's gonna happen. It's not what they say out there. It's a normal school day. You go and do your work. It's just like that.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it was really surprising how quick I got friends. I mean, coming into high school, I didn't think I was going to have any friends. I didn't think I was going to fit in with anybody. But that very first day, I made a group of friends, and it was one of the easiest things.
It was really cool.
Yeah,
because there's more people in high school than
Right.
there is in middle school, right? So
Yeah.
there's that diversity of students, and they're in the same boat as you, I would say.
Right.
And they too
Yeah.
are looking for some friends, so it gets out okay. Well, thank you guys for sharing your experiences and insights with our audience. And thank you, 7th graders, for your attention. I hope you paid close attention to what these two students have shared with you and consider what they said as you choose your classes for 8th grade and as you go throughout your 8th grade year and hopefully anything after that. We challenge you to do your best, and we will see you in high school before you know it. Thanks, guys.